How's it going, guys? My name is Michael, and today I'm going to talk to you about what you should do when you run out of resin in Genshin Impact. This is something that's going to happen to you pretty much daily once you start leveling up in the game. So what happens when you finish your story quests and your side quests and pretty much any other means to get a lot of, experience in the game? What do you do? Well, luckily I have a list of things that you can do on a daily basis that doesn't require resin. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So luckily, resin isn't the only thing that you need in this game. You can still farm for a bunch of different stuff, because once you get to those higher levels, you're gonna have to farm for a lot of stuff outside of getting resin. I'm talking spending hours trying to find the right artifacts and getting the different types of weapons and ascension materials and things like that. All of that takes time, and the sooner you start on doing these type of things, the better. So once you run out of resin on a daily basis, you can spend an hour or two farming for these different resources to make your life a lot easier in the future. So one of the main things that you need to do when you don't have resin is go around and farm different bosses that don't require resin. So for instance, all you have to do is go into your book and go down to the bosses tab and just scroll down the list. So for instance, here I can go to the Psychic Mage and get a few different ascension materials, or I can go and try to get, some artifacts and things of that nature just off of farming these. And there's multiple spawn points for these mages throughout the world. So you can go knock out all of these, and you can go down to, say, for instance, this Cryo Abyss Mage, which will have some ascension materials that I'm actually going to need for one of my characters. But there's plenty that you can farm. So all you have to do basically is just when you click onto the boss, just hit navigate, and it's going to tell you exactly where one is on the map. And then you can just go over to that point, kill the boss. It only takes a few seconds, and then move on to the next one. And you're getting yourself not only a little bit of currency, which you're going to need to farm as well, but you're also getting yourself some, ascension materials that you're going to need, and also some cool artifacts. That way you can level up the artifacts that you have or replace them with nicer artifacts. Another important thing that you need to do, and this is something you need to do early on in the game as you start to get more than 4 characters, you need to go and start dispatching some of those characters on expeditions. As you can see here, I actually have some that I need to collect. But all you have to do is go to the Adventures Guild lady and just talk to her, and you can actually send some of your extra characters on expeditions to get different things. Like for instance here, I sent one on an expedition to the Whispering Woods, and now she's given me, let's see, 3 white iron chunks and 7 crystal chunks. And these crystal chunks are really annoying to farm. It takes a while. I spent like 2 hours the other night trying to farm, enough to use on one of my builds for one of my weapons, and I was not able to get enough. So just sending some of these characters out on some of these expeditions for a day, you can go up to 20 hours, and as you can see, you can get those crystal chunks. Or even for instance here, I get a reward of 5,000 coins for sending her on an expedition for 20 hours as well. So just leaving some of those characters you don't use in these expeditions is going to give you a lot of stuff that you need later on in the game. Like I said, especially these crystal chunks and the money, because you're going to start to run out of that kind of stuff. Now, something else that you can do, and to be honest with you, this one's actually kind of fun, is go on a treasure hunt. You can go around the map and hunt for different treasure chests to get different items. And not only that, they also give you experience towards your adventure rank, so you can still level up without the resin. And there are maps out there, they call them interactive maps, you can Google them, that give you the location of basically every chest on the map. Some of them respawn, some don't, but you can go around and farm the chest every single day to get that adventure rank, and also to get a bunch of different items, especially, like different artifacts and things like that, and currency as well. So spend a couple hours and do that. It's fun for the exploration, and like I said, it definitely gives you something to do. Now, one other thing that I did really want to touch on, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the video with ascension materials and character level up materials and stuff like that, is the fact that you probably already have a lot of the materials that you need, and you just don't necessarily know it. You need to go into your inventory and take a look at these different items, because say for instance here, I'm gonna need some of these dead leyline leaves, right? Well, say for instance, I got 13 dead leyline branches. You can take these to the crafting table and craft the dead leyline leaves. So for instance, these are left over from when I was, fighting stuff earlier on in the game with lower level Abyss mages, and now I'm in a higher world rank where I'm fighting level 40 plus Abyss mages. So you're probably going to have a lot of items that you've accumulated over time, like for instance these with the whopper flowers, or I have 5 of these that I've gotten from the electro hypostasis, which by the way require resin to get. So for instance, if I wanted to get some more of these higher level ones, I'm going to have to go back and fight the hypostasis. So the fact that I already have some of these items and I can actually craft them into the correct essential materials is really, really important. So if I were you, before going in and taking out the different bosses and doing the domains and things like that to get the stuff that you need, make sure that you don't already have anything that you can craft into the materials that you need, because that's something that's really important. You can then save that resin to take on another boss to get the stuff that you really need. For instance, you can go take out a couple of ley lines to get more money, or you can take out different types of bosses to get, essential materials for a weapon that you may need or something like that. So just make sure that you're paying attention to what you have. That way you're not wasting resin on getting materials that you don't necessarily need. All right guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and if you did, make sure you hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are, and until next time, peace out.